today's video, we are going to talk about don't get your Google ads shut off or down for billing reasons ever. The reason for this is you get your ads shut down on Google after you're getting good results, or even just starting to get what you feel is some momentum on your Google ads. Get your ad account shut down for your debit card not working, credit card not working, your bank account being drained of money. It'll kill your momentum completely, and most of the time take months for your ads to come back in terms of the level of performance, ROI, ROAS, cost per lead, and number of leads or number of conversions to come back to where you had it before the ads are shut down. This is not a bunch of BS. I know it may sound like that, but take it from me. I manage dozens of Google Ads accounts on an ongoing basis. I've managed hundreds upon hundreds of them over the last 10 years at my ad agency. I've seen this. It never used to be this bad. But today, it's terrible. You get your ads shut off. Now, if it gets shut down for a few hours, that's one thing. It gets shut down in a significant amount of time. We're talking about days. Forget it. And the longer it gets shut down, by the way, the worse it's going to be for you. The longer it's going to take for your ads to come back. You get your ads shut down for 2 or 3 days, it might take you a month to recover. You get your ads shut down for 3, 4, 5 days, it might take 2 months. You get it shut down for over a week to 2 weeks, it'll take 3 months. You have your ads shut down for a month, it'll take you 6+ months to get back to where you were prior to the shutdown. So you need backup upon backups upon backups in your account so that there is absolutely no way in hell that Google cannot pull money from your account once you're up and going. People spend all this money and time and effort to make their ads work. I mean, obviously this is not like every client, but in a lot of cases they spend all this money with our ad agency to get the results, and then they aren't paying attention to their account. Their account goes to where they don't have any money in it, or at least the account that's tied to the billing source that's on file with Google Ads. Their ads get shut down. They're busy with other stuff, so they don't actually respond to us because we'll call them up right away. Hey, you need to get your damn ads going. Takes them a few days to deal with it. Damage is already done. You were making 20, 30 grand a month profit from having your ads running before. Now you're making 10 grand a month profit. So you basically essentially lost 20, 30, 40, $50,000 because you could not keep your ads on because you either couldn't add additional backup payment sources, or B, couldn't keep your account tied to the account funded and pay attention to what your balance is. So I know mistakes happen, but virtually speaking, there should be no reason why this ever has to happen to you if you just follow the basic instructions I gave you here. But I'm going to give you a direct example of where this has happened with one of our clients recently that sells mailboxes. So you can understand just kind of what kind of impact this is going to have on you when it happens, eventually, potentially happens to you. The reason for this happening is because it's Google. Google can. If you were Google and there's 10 people who want customers from you in a certain vertical, like mailboxes, like I said, or pest control services, like I said, or didn't say, but am saying now, I should say. And your AI system set up to try to find the ads of the 10 people that want to advertise on Google. Find the ad that gets the highest click-through rate and the highest conversion rate, i.e. the traffic that after the person clicks on the ad, so that users on your platform get a good experience overall from ads, so that in the future they want to click on an ad, not click on the organic results, and also just want to come back to Google in general. Are you going to rely, given that you want to give the best possible experience to your users, want to rely on your system, relying on somebody who can't even keep their account funded, and invest all this time doing research as to what's the exact place that your ad should show up and for what exact types of people, when there's other people who have an account that always stays funded. Of course you're going to stay promoting, you're going to try to spend more time in the invest more time into figuring out what works and what doesn't work, and to try to get that person showing as much as possible on the person who can keep their account funded, because they know statistically the person that keeps getting their ad account shut down for non-payment is probably just going to disappear soon. So why invest all the learning that they could do? And when I say learning, I mean putting your ad at the top of Google and identifying of the people that search for your keywords do well with your ad versus don't do well with your ad, when they know there's a high chance that all their time and whatever they had to spend putting your ad at the top of Google, part of the time, which is not going to be ideal for their users because they're testing, that testing that they're doing to make and have to make their ads unideal for their users short term to find long term benefit to their users, that investment of having your ads show up unideally for their users is not going to be worth doing if they don't think statistically you're going to be around. So you have to prove, it's like you're building up credit with Google. You have to prove that you have money, you're going to stick around. And you're just not going to do that with Google if your account gets shut down. They just right away, it's a black mark against you. That's just the way that it is now. Ultimately, their systems are all AI driven in general now. If you bid on the keyword red shoes, you're not bidding on just the keyword red shoes anymore. You're bidding on people that search for red shoes, but there's 1,000 different people who search for red shoes, and they're constantly trying to figure out if it's your ad that should show up on the top of Google or one of the other 10 people that want to also show up for red shoes. And they have to do a lot of testing and learning to figure out the exact people within the people that search for red shoes on a monthly basis should see your ad because they prefer your ad over the other people. And they're not going to go through all that testing if they don't think you're going to be around when there's other people who don't have a problem keeping their accounts funded. Even if you have prior good results with your ad click-through rate and your ad conversion rates that are the traffic that you get, which is ultimately what they're looking for. We've had accounts where somebody was converting really well, really good click-through rates because they're working with us of course. But when their account doesn't stay funded, and this has happened multiple times, the results go right in the garbage can anyway. You're not going to defy the billing issues and the history of not keeping your account funded just with the prior past performance. It overrides it. And so it doesn't really matter anything else you do if you're going to show Google, particularly when it happens more than once, that you can't keep your ad account funded on a regular basis, regardless if it's your fault or not. Because a lot of times your bank rejects the card or the charge. They don't care if it's your fault or not. All they care is their algorithm says, are you reliable or are you not? And if you can't keep your account funded, you're not reliable in their eyes. Therefore, they shouldn't invest time trying to find you ideal users to put your ad in front of. That will net a positive experience for their users and obviously a profit for you on your end as well. So Google's system is like this because it's all kind of basically AI driven now. You're not just bidding on one audience or one keyword anymore. It's more nuanced than that. And with all the testing that they got to do, they don't do the testing that you want them to do to find you the customers you want unless you keep your account funded on a regular basis. Now, as far as a scenario of what you can expect if you don't keep your account funded, as mentioned before, the longer you keep your account unfunded, the worse. The more sales you're going to lose once the account's back on. In addition to that, though, the more times it happens, the worse your results are going to be. In that, you get your account shut down for 3 days. The results that you lose as a result of that after your account gets turned on again will be what it is. You have it happen again within, let's say, like the next year for 3 more days. The results that you're going to lose after your ads are turned on again that second time are going to be even more dramatic than it was the first time. So in other words, what we've noticed is the amount of time it takes you to get your ads funded, and the number of times that your account gets shut down in general within a relatively short period of time. The exact time frame I don't know exactly because we don't have enough data to really find out for sure, but let's say within a year. The more sales you're going to lose through the event of getting your ad shut down for billing issues or your card couldn't be charged or whatever. So with that said, we had a client selling mailboxes, okay? Between March and October of this year, client was doing around $75,000 a month in sales off of Google Ads, okay? You're doing 75K, 68K, 78K. It was bouncing around that $75,000 mark, around there. We hit June, still doing pretty good. However, towards late June, this blind should have been done more so closer to here, not here. So I'll make a slight correction here. In late June, we had the account unfunded for 10 days. Okay? Sales in July were terrible as a result of just that 10 days that the account was shut down. We got the account turned back on before July hit. Okay? So, specifically June would have actually been a lot more sales if we would have just kept the ads on. Because we were headed in an upward trajectory here, where ads didn't get shut off in June. We probably would have did like 85, 90. But we only did about 78,000 itself. And that was even after having the ads shut off for 10 days, at the very ending part of June. Got the ads turned back on. Then we did more like 40,000 right away. So we basically got the sales cut in half because the ads were running all in July. Oh, it was just running. But late June, we got the ads turned off for 10 days. And then we did a little bit better in August, which is about what you'll do. We were closer to about 52,000. Then September, we brought it back, most of the way. We were at around 60,000. And then in October, we're basically back to where we're in the 70,000 to 80,000 sales range per month from Google Ads, okay? So, lesson being here is if you get your ads shut down, it's going to take you probably 3 months to recover from that ad account getting shut down if you stay unfunded for 10 days like this client had. And they were unfunded because they were trying to prioritize other stuff that they needed to pay for versus the ads. Which I don't know how to explain this in appropriate terms. But I said, if you ever don't have money to pay for your Google ads, you're really not going to have money once that damn Google ads get shut off again. Particularly as you've already done this twice now. Oh yeah, now this was the second time it got shut down this year already in 2023. So, if you can't pay for something, the absolute last thing you want to get to not pay is Google Ads. Because you're going to lose basically $60,000+ in sales. Granted, the ad spend during this time, March through October, our ad spend was the same, like $15,000 a month ad spend at the same time. So the ad spend didn't change, the sales just took a dive, okay? And so what you're going to, ultimately, as a result of this, what you're going to see is your ROI, the efficiency of the ad spend that you had before your ads got shut off, plummets to where you're going to get half the ROI that you had before the ads got shut down, once the ads get turned back on, in a situation where you were 10 days unfunded and it already happened one time before in the last 12 months. Let's say, and then it'll be, you might have, you take a half, 50% haircut on your sales the whole next month, and then you'll have you know, 40% haircut like we had here, and then a 20% haircut or 15% haircut, then it's back to normal the 4th month after your ads got shut off, and then reactivated again. So, with that said, okay, add 2 to 3 cards to your account, particularly accounts from different banks, or cards from different banks, if you can. What I would say is, if your whole company lives and breathes and dies off this Google Ads account, set up a separate account. If you can at a separate bank, which that's just getting super paranoid, but a whole separate account that the ad spend comes out of. And in which, if to keep that funded, I would have an automatic transfer of money that goes into your primary account, into the Google Ads account. That way you know there's no way in hell the account's never not going to be funded. And then in addition to that, you want to have a bank account tied to the account. Why? Because Google, there's a lot of people that hack Google Ads accounts so that they can sell the Google Ads accounts to people that then use your Google Ads account to promote stuff that Google doesn't allow. Okay? The Google Ads account on the black market is worth like $1,000. So as a result of this, or people will steal credit cards and open up a Google Ads account to promote stuff to get value out of the stolen credit card. But mainly it's about Google Ads accounts that get hacked. And then as a result of this, banks as a whole don't like charges from Google Ads because they have a high fraud rate. And then so normally when you get going, banks don't have a problem billing your card if they've already seen charges from Google Ads before. But it doesn't mean they can't suddenly change their mind, because their fraud systems are always updating as well. And all of their fraud systems are also AI based. So they could have changed the rules in their fraud system that now suddenly says that if it's Google Ads, but it's, you know, 2 charges in a month versus 3, it's fraud or whatever. And then all of a sudden your account that was working perfectly for 2 years doesn't work. Now your ads are shut off because you're busy doing other stuff. You don't notice it for 10 days, and now you're fucked. Now you've just lost 60 grand worth of sales over a technicality like that. At least if you have the bank account tied to it, there's no chance of that happening. There's no chance of denial on a bank account. So I'm going to add 2 to 3 different cards. If at 2 different cards at 2 different banks, so that if the fraud systems change at one, the other one is going to be still good. And a bank account, just in case that fails. Okay? And then it doesn't hurt on top of that to go into your account and then see, because Google tells you when they try to charge your card and it fails. So if one card fails and the other one is good, you should replace the card that fails or contact your bank and tell them to whitelist Google again. So you have to maintain your backup, in other words. Don't just assume your backup always works, because once your bank denies Google once, it's going to deny it forever after that. So now your backup is no longer there. Now you just have one card. So you got to stay up to date on this stuff. If you're doing Google invoicing, which you can pay for your ad spend if you apply for it, you can get pay for your ad spend 30 days after the fact. If you do that, don't pay your invoicing way late, because Google seems to have a problem with that as well in terms of the queue of how serious they are going to be about promoting your ads front and center versus somebody else's ads. Their system basically just has identified if you're paying your monthly bill 45 days after getting it, there must be a high likelihood that you're not going to be paying your bill soon, and so they don't take your ads as seriously. I've noticed this personally, with the what's going on with the ad performance, and then as it comes to paying those invoices. So most of you guys don't do invoicing, but if you do, that's just another thing to mention as well. So as you can see here, like I said, one little incident here, once your account is riding good, even if it's been riding good for years, can cause you a lot of problems. In this situation, this would have been the first time, but we had the ads unfunded for 10 days. Maybe instead of losing 60 grand worth of sales, we would have lost 40 or 30. But it's still 30 grand worth of sales, which that might be 10 grand worth of profit, right? Throwing 10 grand away because you didn't have a backup card, it's really silly. Just know that if you're the type of company that can't keep the ads funded, it's going to be really, really hard to get any kind of results on Google. Because as soon as you get momentum, you start on an upward trend, and you're going to knock your trend completely off course again. And then if you get it funded again, after 3 months after getting on an uptrend again, it's just going to knock it down, and there's no point basically. And what I tell clients is if you can't afford to pay your bills on Google ads, just have less of a budget. What can you afford? You're better off having a less budget that you can always pay than a higher budget that you can't always pay. So in a lot of cases, they can afford, where if we've had an issue before, clients can afford to pay it. They just don't manage their money well. In business, you usually have to have 3 things, right? You got to be able to know how to manage your operations, you got to know how to manage money, and you got to be able to provide a good product or service. And usually people have an issue with at least one of the 3. It's rare that people are amazing at all 3. And a lot of people can't manage money. They could have a great product or service. They know how to, really lead a team. They're just terrible with money. So at the end of the day, they invest in this guy's stuff, this person's pitching them, they buy this thing that they don't need, and then suddenly they don't have a Google Ads budget that can be, or an account that has money for the Google Ads billing that needs to come through. So anyway, with that said, now hopefully I saved you a lot of grief from getting your ads shut off. As a side thing, shutting your ads off for if you're going to be gone for Thanksgiving weekend or something like that, or think you want to shut the ads off because you're busy enough if you're doing services, don't do it. Because pausing your ads is almost as bad as getting your account non-funded. Having your account physically unfunded because your card can't be billed is significantly still worse. But the algorithm, for the same reasons that I was talking about before, about fundamentally, the algorithm's looking for consistent, stable advertisers that they can do testing with and know that their ads are going to be around long-term and stable, so that they can, because if they can't count on an ad being constantly there, their systems can't learn how to properly place that in their search results. So don't do that. Even if you don't need the business and you can't service the business for a couple days out of the year, you buy the ads anyway. Because what you're going to experience shutting your ads off for a couple days like that, you're going to lose more when the ads get turned on for that next following week, that the algorithm's just like, well, sorry, somebody else is in your spot now. And I honestly think you'll be shutting your ad off soon again, so maybe we'll slowly start testing you out and see how things go. And that's ultimately how they're looking at it. If this was a human looking at it, even though it's a computer looking at it, it operates in that fashion basically. I'm not the coder that that handles all this. I just see what happens and I understand why it happens like it is. It's all trying to find stability. It wants good results for their users, but it's trying to find a stable people that are advertising to be able to base everything that they're using in their system off of. And if you're not stable, they don't know how to handle it based upon how their systems are designed nowadays. So with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it made sense. With that said, if you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you would give it a like and consider subscribing, as I have a lot of other information on this channel that can help you make millions of dollars with your ads. Given this is all I do all day long is ad strategy, and I give you the stuff that actually works. So therefore, the information is more valuable than what a YouTuber that is full-time YouTube or course seller by itself is going to provide. Because they're not an ad agency owner who just does ad strategy all day long. And we have to guarantee results for our clients. So the stuff we use to actually guarantee people's results up front, I give you on this channel. It's literally the best information you're going to find on YouTube and online in general on how to make money with online ads. Furthermore, if you like the channel, by the way, I have a blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog, as well as have a column at entrepreneur.com if you also like my work here and would like to see my written work. If you are looking for an ad agency that can get you results, guaranteed results, reach out to me at my firm at guaranteeppc.com. We can guarantee your sales will go up before you pay us any fees. Only catch is we got to have something that we know we can get results with, but we'll let you know if we can work together or not if you reach out. Furthermore, if you aren't looking for an ad agency but you want great results, if we worked in your market before, which we've worked in over 100 markets, we can sell you the ad templates we use to get results in your market through a campaign that we're already running or have run in the past. In that, you can literally copy paste the ads, campaigns, landing page templates, all that work for that market, that funnel, if you will, and shortcut your way to success. We can tell you what results we got up front with it, and then you could use it for a one-time fee, get everything that we know that works in that market already. It's way cheaper and better and quicker to just buy our templates than it is to figure out the same stuff for yourself, frankly. Beyond that, though, first of all, if you have any questions about anything I covered here today, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel. And you can ask any ad-related question you'd like. I'd be more than happy to try to answer it for you, totally free of cost or charge. But beyond that, if you are looking for an ad agency like ours, don't think you can kind of afford it. We are taking applications for people who will let us work on their account and then display the results we got with that account on this channel. In exchange of being able to be a case study for our channel here, we will not charge for our fees. If you're interested in that, let us know. You got to be over a certain minimum amount of revenue so we know we got a viable operation that will be around long term, do a long-term case study from. If you're interested in that, reach out to my firm, guaranteeppc.com. Similarly, we also work with some companies where we'll invest in those companies, in that you literally have to pay us nothing other than a part of the sales increase we get for your company. Between 1% and 10% is typically what we take, and we partner directly with those companies. And so with that, there is no direct fee to work with our agency other than we own 1% to 10% of your company, take 1% to 10% of your sales growth in the future in addition to whatever you have now, and then we'll do everything we can to get your sales to go up. We also do that as well. If you're interested in that, just also reach out to us. I'll be more than happy to have a discussion with you about it, whether or not we can actually work together. So with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. Peace out.